Bitcoin, we start with daily chart. And if we refer to my last analysis, we mentioned with the breakout of this zone, with the breakout of 111, based on daily chart, we have been looking for 135. But I mentioned before the price reach 135, based on lower time frame, we have been looking for 122K as a target with the breakout of 111K for the forward time frame. And as we can see, based on forward time frame, after the breakout of the 111, the price tag, now we get this drop. Okay. What I want to say is that because the reasons we come up with 122K, because I mentioned with the breakout of the 111K, we can look for 122. Then we from there we can look for 135. Because I mentioned this one is as a short-term target based on lower time frame, which I meant the time frame below the lower than the daily chart. All right. Then because we had the opportunity to look for buy as a here above the 111 and even here, that's why for those traders who get the trade for buy within this range, as long as the price reached 122K, they should book some profit or they start to manage their trade. Because now the question is whether this is the only correction we can put in relative to what we have here as a running flat for one move up. If we get this one with a breakout of the all-time high as a sharp, then from there we can look for 135. Okay, but if we move to daily chart, all right, we see we have a divergence at this point. And if within the next day the price couldn't continue, we don't see the continuation. When we see the correction based on forward or lower time frame, then we have to care about this divergence. But at this point, who for those traders who get the trade for buy within this range, and especially here, at least book some profit or move their stop loss to break even. Because if we move to forward chart at this point, even we have a divergence. Okay. As I mentioned, if we see within the next day the price continue and we see the breakout of the all-time high, then we don't need to care about the divergence and mostly the divergence will disappear. If not, the price start to consolidate here. We see the price stay here within this zone. I mean, as a correction, then we look at this one as a flat. Then we have to care about the divergence. Anyway, it depends on the strategy the traders are looking for with the breakout of 122. I mean, the price tag, and now with the breakout of the all-time high, which is 123. Then from there, we're looking for 135 based on daily chart. And if we move to higher time frame, with the breakout of 135, the next target and the best I'm looking for is above 170, somewhere between 170 and 180. At least we can look for 170. All right. Then can we look for trade at this point? If we move to 1 hour chart, we don't see any trade setup. Even we had the divergence here. All right. That's why we get this drop. But if we want to look at this one as a flat, any opportunity for buy as a flag within this zone based on 5 or 15 minutes, we can look for trade. But if the price reverses as a corrective, this is where we have to be quite careful because the price can retest this low. That's why we have to move our stop loss to break even for those traders who get the trade for buy either from here or here. Okay, now I don't see any trade setup, and if anyone wants to look for trade at this point, they should be quite careful. But as I mentioned, the next target I'm looking for is 100, and at least, I mean, based on daily chart, the first target which we have been looking for based on higher time frame is the 135 and 100, and the second one, the best one, is 170, but 122 was the short-term target with the breakout of the all-time high. Okay. Anyway, we just follow the chart. If I see any update, I will share. Thanks.